Today, everyone has received Tao and three treasures. However, the treasures we have obtained are not as simple as those we can see, touch, or hear. They are not tangible objects in this world. Instead, what you see cannot save your life. Our three treasures not only help us evade calamities, but also serve as a precious path to Buddhahood and enlightenment. With these treasures, we can return to the original heaven and become part of Maitreya's family, transforming each home into a utopian state. By utilizing our intrinsic three treasures, we can exhibit a gentle heart, a grateful heart, a pure heart, an equal heart, a respectful heart, a compassionate heart, and an inclusive heart. Thus, our three treasures are a supreme method that allows us to realize our true nature, a teaching passed down through generations by the sages. Moreover, the fact that everyone can gather for this Dharma assembly today indicates that we are truly rooted in profound heritage and virtue from our ancestors. We know that during his lifetime, Shakyamuni Buddha taught for 49 years and held Shilisudharma assemblies, each lasting 2 to 3 months, where attendees had to purify themselves through fasting and bathing. The Diamond Sutra that we read was recorded by the Venerable Ananda during the Buddha's 7th assembly. Is the Diamond Sutra difficult? It is meant for bodhisattvas. Therefore, esteemed practitioners, you all possess the roots of bodhisattvas, and you are even more capable than those who practiced in the past, as they would hold assemblies for over 2 months, while you can complete your training here in less than 2 days. So, what are the three treasures? We often say that the heavens have three treasures: the sun, the moon, and the stars. The earth has three treasures: water, fire, and wind. And humans have three treasures: essence, energy, and spirit. The treasures of Tao are heavenly gate, holy password, and seals. Without these three treasures, the heavens would become dark and unclear, the earth would be unable to support life, and without essence, energy, and spirit, our bodies would be hard to sustain. Furthermore, without the three treasures of the way, we cannot return home and will be forever wandering in the sea of suffering, losing the true path. Therefore, it is crucial to understand the importance of the three treasures. I will briefly introduce what these three treasures are. They are the mystical gateway, the key phrases, and the agreement. These are the credentials for our return to the realm of truth. The mystical gateway, as the name implies, is a profound portal for returning to the essence of life and spirituality, which we refer to as the Tongtianqiao. It is the portal through which our spirit enters and exits. Do you remember where this mystical gateway is? It is right here in Japanese. 玄关, 玄关means the main entrance. We all know that humans are composed of both body and spirit. We often think that our life is given to us by our mothers, which is true in one sense. However, there is a deeper meaning. We all possess a spirit that originates from the heavens. Even if our physical bodies deteriorate and our lives end after 100 years, our spirit is eternal. So, where does this spirit come from, and where does it go? In the Gospel of John, Jesus tells a friend named Nicodemus that while our bodies are born from our parents, our souls come from a greater source. He explains that we can feel the presence of the wind, yet we cannot know where it comes from. Many of you present today understand that the spirit exists, but most people do not realize where it originates or where it will go in the future. This is why Jesus emphasizes this point in the Gospel. Today, we are very fortunate to receive guidance from a divinely appointed teacher who can unlock the keys to our lives. In the past, practitioners struggled for years without grasping this key insight. Even if they were lucky enough to learn about it, without a divinely appointed teacher to open the door, they could not escape the cycle of birth and death. It's similar to a smartphone. We might know there is a power button, but we need someone to turn it on for us. Before we received Tao, we first didn't know where the switch was, and second, didn't know how to turn it on. Our divinely appointed teacher reveals these profound truths to us, which is truly exceptional. This portal is where the spirit enters and exits, where humanity connects with the heavens, and where the spirit resides, governing all our senses. Now let's take a look at this diagram. We often say that a person has an impressive appearance, a refined face, and well-defined features. So, what are the 5 senses? They are the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and there's another feature. What is it? Is it the eyebrows? Do eyebrows have a function? Actually, it is this gateway we call the Shen Guan Qiao, also known as the guardian of longevity. The eyes serve as the monitoring officer, the ears as the listening officer, the nose as the discerning officer, and the mouth as the officer of input and output, each with its own function. This actually signifies where the heart resides. We often talk about using our hearts, so, where is the heart? When we concentrate, we often furrow our brows. We wouldn't usually clutch our hearts, would we? You may remember, from the TV show The Blue Spider Web, the character Lee team leader often furrowed his brow when he sensed something was off. In Buddhism, we are frequently advised to observe with our eyes, nose, and heart. So, where is the heart? We also often mention Bizu, which means the original ancestor. Why is it related to the nose? Because during conception, the nose is one of the first features to form, hinting that the key to life begins here. If you observe many depictions of saints, you'll notice they often have halos. But a halo must have a light source, right? For instance, on Avalokiteshvara's forehead, there is also a dot, placed very deliberately, because the secrets of heaven cannot be revealed. This gives us a significant hint. You also possess light. Can you see it? In the past, when our predecessors were pioneering abroad, foreign nuns could see this light. Once, a nun excitedly embraced our elder, exclaiming that she usually only saw halos behind saints in murals and had never seen a real person with a halo. This illustrates the preciousness and uniqueness of the path we seek. Thus, our spirit emanates light from within, just as a lamp radiates brightness. We possess Buddha light. If we cultivate this light well, it will grow rounder and larger. The Xian Guanqiao is the portal through which the spirit enters and exits. It connects heaven and humanity and is the dwelling place of the spirit, governing all our senses. Confucianism says, the land of ultimate goodness is where nature leads. Buddhism calls it the treasure of the true Dharma, the wonderful heart of nirvana. Taoism refers to it as the mysterious gate, the root of heaven and earth. Once you attain this gateway, you can transcend life and death, escaping the suffering of the 6 realms of reincarnation. The Buddhist scriptures state, one finger can transcend the 3 realms, one point can escape the 10 Yama lords. The eyes serve as the monitoring officer, the ears as the listening officer, the nose as the discerning officer, and the mouth as the officer of input and output. Bodhi nature is inherently pure. Just use this heart to attain Buddhahood. A wise teacher's guidance aligns the heart, bringing all diverse thoughts back to a single heart. With a teacher's touch, the heart lamp is lit, and the heart shines bright. The sages of the 5 teachings all validate the Xian Guanqiao. Buddhism states, the Buddha is not far from the spiritual mountain. The spiritual mountain is right in your heart. Everyone has a spiritual mountain stupa. It's best to cultivate beneath this stupa. So, where's the spiritual mountain? It's right here in the heart. Thus, the Buddha resides within us. Shakyamuni Buddha taught us that all beings inherently possess the virtues of the Tathagata, and ultimately, all beings can attain Buddhahood. Therefore, if we diligently cultivate and gradually reveal this Buddha nature, we too can be like the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. A well-known example is when Shakyamuni Buddha once raised a flower during a gathering on the spiritual mountain, but no disciple understood his meaning except for Mahakasyapa, who smiled slightly. This is known as heart-to-heart transmission, the so-called subtle path. Thus, Shakyamuni Buddha stated, I have the treasure of the true law, the wonderful heart of nirvana, the reality that is formless, the subtle path that does not rely on words, a transmission outside the scriptures, entrusted to Mahakasyapa. The Dao De Jing, chapter Lis, says, the valley spirit never dies. This is called the mysterious female. The gate of the mysterious female is called the root of heaven and earth. It exists perpetually, and its usefulness is limitless. The valley spirit symbolizes the profound essence of this guiding finger, representing the mysterious source from which all things arise. The subtle gate of the mother is the root of heaven and earth's generation. It exists endlessly, with boundless effects. In this chapter, Lao Tzu continues to elaborate on the characteristics of the Dao. He employs metaphors and substitutions, using valley to symbolize the Dao and our true nature, illustrating that the Dao is both emptiness and reality. Employing spirit to convey the Tao's elusive nature, and likening the mysterious female gate to the source of all things. Laozi aims to demonstrate that the Tao's function is limitless. In terms of time, the Tao is eternal and enduring, while in terms of space, the Tao is omnipresent and infinite. The Tao nurtures all things in the universe, perpetually giving life. Confucius also stated, "To hear the Tao in the morning is enough to face death in the evening." The true meaning is to attain the Tao and achieve liberation. The word here implies understand. If one realizes the nature of life and death, comprehends impermanence, and sees through the illusions of the world in the morning, they can critically reassess their life by evening. Transitioning from confusion to enlightenment and walking the path of Amitabha or Bodhisattvas means that even if one were to die that night, there would be no regrets. Confucius also said, "Who can exit without passing through a door? Why not take the great Tao?" The door symbolizes the precious path of the Tao. Seeking the Tao means realizing that our true nature is aligned with the Buddha, and it allows us to cultivate the spirit of benevolence, which is a duty for all. If everyone possesses this awareness, they will naturally walk the right path. The 5-character mantra, the Tongtian spell, the secret phrase, and the timely command reflect the principles of the Tao. The Li Tian represents the essence of the Buddha, the primordial mother, the palace of the ultimate, which is the fundamental nature of the Tao. Qi Tian is the interplay of yin and yang, representing the realm of relative existence, and Xiang Tian signifies the world of forms and materiality. The microcosm encompasses Li, Qi, and Xiang, which originate from the Tao heart, human heart, and blood heart, respectively, distinguishing the foolish, wise, and sage. The foolish cling to forms, the wise understand Qi, and the sage comprehends Li. Li Tian is true emptiness, lacking form or color, sound or odor, merely a spiritual essence. When it is hidden, it is pure and subtle, silent and still, encompassing all. When revealed, it is supremely sacred and spiritual, responsive and all-encompassing. The terms absolute emptiness and spiritual subtlety indicate a state of pure, extraordinary essence, while supreme sacredness and spiritual subtlety convey an unparalleled state of transcendence. Responsive and all-encompassing implies that there is a response to every feeling, and all matters are interconnected. Since human nature is inherently pure, sincerity reaches its goal. Once a feeling arises, all methods are present and comprehensible. Although it lacks form and color, it can give rise to all varieties. Although it has no sound or odor, it can govern all sounds and smells. Even though it is unseen and unheard, it encompasses all phenomena without missing anything. It does not birth itself, nor does it die or perish. It is eternally luminous and present, serving as the fundamental source of all beings. The concept of encompassing all phenomena implies compassion and care for all things, ensuring that nothing is overlooked. Luminous suggests divine brilliance. Both gases and solids cannot escape its influence. As all things exist, it exists. When all things perish, it still endures. The Heart Sutra states, "Neither defiled nor pure, neither increased nor decreased," meaning its essence is thus described. The form of the formless is the real form. The essence of the formless is the real essence. Neither defiled nor pure signifies that Li Tian is true emptiness, a mass of golden light, exhibiting perfect tranquility and purity, without distinction between defilement and purity. The form of the formless refers to the true form, Li Tian, the Tao, the spiritual essence. The essence of the formless denotes the true essence, Li Tian, the Tao, the spiritual essence. In the Tianfo Yuan Travel Notes, the teacher discusses the universe as composed of the 3 realms of Li, Qi, and Xiang. The compassionate teacher explains that the genuine transmission of the 3 treasures encapsulates the essence of myriad scriptures, threading together Li, Qi, and Xiang. One unique aspect of the heavenly Tao is that one must first receive teachings before engaging in practice. The transmission of the 3 treasures' heart methods, Li and Qi, serves as the structure of the teachings. Li is static and unchanging, Qi is dynamic and ever-changing. Xiang arises from the interaction of Li and Qi. Qi Tian, the gaseous realm in the universe, is commonly referred to as heaven. Gases are light and clear, while the earth is heavy and turbid. Lightness and clarity belong to yang, while heaviness and turbidity belong to yin. Thus the interplay of yin and yang is termed qian kun. Qian represents heaven, and Kun represents earth. When we say heaven and earth, we refer to Qi Tian. Without this heaven, the earth cannot support life, nor can people thrive. The sun, moon, and stars cannot hang in the sky, and all visible entities cannot exist. Therefore, its function involves circulation, elevation, and the silent regulation of seasons, nurturing all things. The phrases circulation and elevation refer to the cyclical nature and movement of energies. Elevation signifies the emergence of yang, while descent indicates the emergence of yin. The phrase secretly operating the four seasons describes how the changes of spring, summer, autumn, and winter occur silently and without fanfare. The Dao De Jing states, man follows the earth follows heaven, heaven follows the Dao, and the Dao follows nature. The realm of Xiang Tian encompasses all visible and tangible forms. This includes the celestial bodies such as the sun, moon, and stars, as well as terrestrial features like mountains, rivers, plants, and minerals. In other words, everything that has form, whether sentient or insentient, belongs to Xiang Tian. Sentient beings are those with consciousness and emotional capacities, such as animals and humans. Insentient beings include plants, earth, stones, and other non-conscious entities. In summary, Li represents the essence of the primordial mother of the Buddha. Qi refers to the interplay of yin and yang, and xiang pertains to forms and appearances. During the process of creation, Li gives rise to qi, which in turn gives rise to xiang. Conversely, in destruction, forms deteriorate quickly, followed by qi, while Li remains unchanged. The Buddha, body, and nature of the primordial mother are intertwined, representing the inherent essence of all. The unity of heaven and earth unfolds in 6 stages of creation and dissolution. The Zi phase represents the beginning of creation, while Wu signifies the completion of the process. The Zi phase is akin to midnight, marking the onset of creation, while Wu is like noon, symbolizing completion. From Zi to Si, we move from non-existence to existence, transitioning from Li to Qi, and then to Xiang, illustrating how diversity emerges from unity. From Wu to Hai, we return from existence to non-existence, transitioning from Xiang back to Qi, and then to Li, reflecting how all forms converge back into the one source. The Wu phase is crucial, as it marks a significant transformation in the flow of energy, encapsulating the creation of earthly civilization. In the Zi phase, heaven is opened. In the Zhou phase, the earth is established. In the Yin phase, humanity is born. The primordial essence descends into the world from the realm of Li Tian. Thus, during the Wu phase, the process of returning to one's original nature begins. Yiguantan Yuan states that the nature of heaven, earth, and humanity originates from the Zi phase entering Li, the Zhou phase entering Qi, and the Yin phase entering Xiang, encompassing all phenomena. The transmission of the Dao occurs during the Wu phase, symbolizing the gradual return from existence to non-existence. Therefore, through understanding forms, we can comprehend the energy. Through energy, we return to the essence. This reflects the union of humanity with the divine and represents the stages of attainment within the sacred realm. The inherent nature of humanity originates from the primordial realm of Li Tian. When one enters Li, they may become constrained by the attributes of Qi. If they enter Xiang, they become obscured by material desires, losing their way and their true nature. The opening and closing of heaven are matters concerning the divine. Throughout history, sages, following the will of the divine, descended into the world, establishing various teachings to guide the ignorant. Confucius advocated self-discipline and returning to propriety. Lao Tzu taught returning to the root and restoring life, and Shakyamuni Buddha emphasized detaching from all forms to understand true reality. Lao Tzu said, "The great Dao is formless." Confucius stated, "Heaven bears all, yet is silent and odorless," and Buddha remarked, "All forms are illusory." Ultimately, these teachings guide people to return from forms to energy, and from energy back to essence. For example, at the moment of death, one first experiences the dimming of senses, followed by the loss of physical ability, leading ultimately to the cessation of breath. The true essence of the spirit then enters the cycle of reincarnation. Thus, to escape this cycle, one must cultivate the Dao. Confucius said, "To hear the Dao in the morning is enough to face death in the evening," implying liberation from reincarnation and understanding life and death. The closing lines state, "In the end, what is left unsaid is conveyed here. A wise person shares their understanding of the path home, witnessing the cycle of birth and death before them." Maitreya, the founder, embodies a common man's body, remaining untainted by attachments, not practicing meditation, yet not escaping from afflictions. Maitreya Bodhisattva is described as having the body of an ordinary being, not severing the defilements, not practicing meditation, and not eliminating afflictions. The body of an ordinary being. This means that Maitreya manifests in the form and appearance of an ordinary person, unlike other Buddhas or Bodhisattvas who often appear in transcendent or majestic forms. He appears just like us, with birth, aging, sickness, emotions, and afflictions, embodying a compassionate vow to use the ordinary to save the ordinary. Not severing the defilements. Defilements refer to desires, ignorance, and other afflictive tendencies that cause the loss of wisdom. Ordinarily, practitioners seek to eliminate these to attain nirvana. But Maitreya does not sever the defilements, meaning he does not aim to cut them off as a goal or external form. Rather, he has transcended the dualistic view of purity and defilement. Though appearing to retain defilements, he is not bound by them. This reflects a state of great wisdom that appears naive. Not practicing meditation. Meditation is a common Buddhist method to calm the mind, gain concentration, and cultivate insight. When it says Maitreya does not practice meditation, it doesn't mean he lacks understanding, but rather that his realization has surpassed all conditioned forms of practice. He abides naturally in a state of non-abiding concentration and effortless wisdom. He does not practice meditation, for he is meditation itself. Not eliminating afflictions. This closely parallels not severing the defilements, and emphasizes again that Maitreya does not need to forcibly eliminate afflictions, for he is no longer attached to them. As the Platform Sutra of the Sixth Patriarch says, the Buddha Dharma is in the world, enlightenment is not apart from worldly awareness. Afflictions and enlightenment are not two. Maitreya remains in the world, appears to carry afflictions, but his true nature is already awakened. Summary: these four descriptions emphasize that Maitreya Bodhisattva saves beings through appearing in the form of an ordinary person, without clinging to outward displays of practice or purity. With great compassion and complete wisdom, he manifests in the world, embodying the ultimate realization that the ordinary is sacred and afflictions are none other than enlightenment. Such a portrayal resonates deeply within Chan and Vajrayana Buddhism, expressing the Mahayana ideal of being in the world without being tainted by it. Finally, we come to the concept of He Tong, which signifies unity and is a seal of returning to heaven. As stated in the Gospel of Matthew, "I truly tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, whoever takes the lowly position of this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven." The third treasure, the seal, also known as He Tong or Tong Tian Yin. What is He Tong? It's similar to signing a contract when doing business. In cultivation, there is also a He Tong, like making a pact with heaven, serving as proof of our return to the heavenly principles. When we first sought the way, the transmission master asked the protector master to guide us in the He Tong. We all then performed it together. The right thumb presses on the base of the right ring finger, and the left thumb presses on the base of the right little finger. The left hand holds the right hand and places them in front of the chest, with no gaps between the fingers. What special meaning does this gesture have? Have you ever seen fortune tellers in TV dramas who say, "Let me calculate with my fingers"? So, how do they calculate? Let's stretch out our right hands and count along, starting from the shitar, earthly branches, zi, zhou, yin, mao, chen, si, wu, wei, shen, yu, su, hai. Just so, He Tong is aligned with zi and hai. Zi and hai together form the character for child. When we think of a child, what comes to mind? The heart of a newborn. A child is innocent and adorable, without distinctions or biases. This represents our true spiritual nature, reminding us to always maintain a pure, childlike heart. In the Bible, Matthew 18:3 says, "Truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Whoever humbles himself like this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven." When we count from Zi to Hai, we are covering the 12 hours of a day. Zi marks the start of the day, and Hai marks the end. This also reminds us that cultivation should never stray from the way, with both a beginning and an end. Conclusion. Benefits of seeking the way. Now that everyone has sought the way and received the 3 treasures, what are the benefits? Transcending life and death. During the process of seeking the way, a document called the Dragon Heaven Tablet was burned. This tablet contains your name and contribution, and when it is burned, the ritual master recites, the tablet ascends to heaven, registered on the heavenly list, and the underworld pulls the register. From now on, your name is registered with the 3 officials, and you are no longer under the control of the 10 Yama kings. After seeking the way and receiving the 3 treasures, your name is no longer on the death register of the Yama king, but has been registered with the 3 officials. As long as you follow the way with sincere practice, you will transcend life and death and will no longer suffer from the cycle of reincarnation. When ordinary people pass away, their bodies stiffen. In ancient times, true practitioners who had accumulated merit and virtue and who had followed the way would experience a soft body after death, like cotton, with no stiffness in winter and no decay in summer. Their face would remain unchanged, as if they were merely asleep. The immortals and Buddhas have compassionately said that, after seeking the way, as long as one does not go against the way or lose their virtue, after 100 years, their body can remain as soft as cotton. Avoiding calamities and disasters. As the saying goes, heaven has unpredictable changes, and people have sudden fortunes and misfortunes. We never know if tomorrow will come first or if impermanence will come first. When we encounter calamities or disasters, sincerely using the 3 treasures will invite the help of immortals and Buddhas to transform calamities into blessings, turning major problems into small ones and minor problems into non-issues. This is the proof of the respect that heaven has for the way. How to use the 3 treasures now? Let's all hold the Hitong position. Close your eyes 80% and leave 20% open. Relax your body and focus your mind on the Shenguan. In your mind, silently recite the 5-character mantra 3 to 5 times. Reciting the 5-character mantra is like sending a signal to heaven for help, and when heaven senses it, it will come to assist in resolving the situation. In daily life, we can also use the 3 treasures often to calm our hearts, stabilize our scattered thoughts, and improve our focus and efficiency. Heavenly secrets should not be revealed. There are a few things to remind everyone. After today's initiation into the way and receiving the 3 treasures, they are heavenly secrets and should not be casually disclosed. After leaving the temple, do not tell anyone, even close family and friends. If they are curious, you can bring them to the temple to seek the way and light a lamp for them, so they too can receive the 3 treasures. Of course, the 3 treasures should not be recorded in any form, only kept in the heart. Some of you may wonder, what if I forget the 3 treasures? In that case, you can return to the temple, light a lamp, ask the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas for protection, and ask the temple's instructors to help review the teachings with you. One day of vegetarian diet today. As we seek the way, we should observe a vegetarian diet for one day as a sign of our sincerity and respect. Just like the ancient emperors, who would fast and bathe before offering sacrifices to heaven and earth, we observe this day of vegetarianism to align our body, mind, and spirit more closely with the immortals and Buddhas. Merit contributions. Before seeking the way, you made a contribution. This contribution goes toward printing and distributing virtuous books and performing meritorious deeds. It does not go into the pockets of the instructors or volunteers present here. These volunteers come to the temple out of a genuine desire to learn the way and serve, not for profit. Final words. Finally, I would like to congratulate everyone once again for receiving the noble way today. Seeking the way is just the beginning of the spiritual journey. As the saying goes, the teacher leads you to the door, but the cultivation depends on the individual. There are still many truths waiting for us to explore. In the future, Please come back to the temple to continue your studies, reflect, and improve yourself. We will have a 2-day advanced class in AT, with different instructors presenting many interesting courses and offering deeper insights into the way. Everyone is welcome to join. Now, I will distribute your way-seeking cards, which contain your registration details. Please keep them safe. You only need to seek the way once in your lifetime. If anyone later asks you to accompany them to the temple to seek the way again, you can simply show them your card to prove that you have already sought the way and don't need to repeat it. That's all for my sharing. If there are any shortcomings, I ask the immortals and Buddhas to forgive my mistakes. Please allow the instructors and masters to make any necessary additions, and I appreciate everyone's understanding. Thank you to the instructors. Thank you to all of you.